We have the system of equations a plus c equals 1, minus 2a plus b minus 10c equals 0, and minus 15a plus 3b plus 25c equals 0. This system of equations can be written as a matrix. We will use the coefficients on the variables and the right side of the equations to write this matrix. The coefficient on a in the first equation is 1. There is no b as there are in the other two equations, so that means that that coefficient must be 0. The coefficient on c is 1, and then the right side of the equation is 1. Then for the second equation, we have minus 2, 1, minus 10, and 0. And for the third equation, we have minus 15, 3, 25, and 0. So what we have done here then is constructed a matrix that has 3 rows and 4 columns. So it is a 3 by 4 matrix. We always go rows by columns. So 3 rows by 4 columns. We can use the TI graphing calculator to solve this equation. We'll do that by pressing second matrix. And then what we want to do is edit a matrix. So we'll go over to edit, and we can choose one to edit. Let's just use matrix A, so we'll press 1. The first thing that we'll need to do is define the dimensions of this matrix. Now we decided that this one had 3 rows, hit enter, and then 4 columns, hit enter. Now our matrix on the screen will be a 3 by 4 matrix. So what we'll do is enter these values: 1, enter, 0, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter. Now we have the first row entered. Then we'll enter all the others. Then we'll want to get out of this matrix by clicking second quit. Now we want to get the calculator to solve this matrix for us. And we'll do that by pressing second matrix and then going over to math and then finding the RREF function and hit enter. Now we have to tell it which matrix we want it to do this function on. And we'll do that by accessing the matrices again. So we'll click second matrix. And then we'll leave it on this menu names. And it was matrix A that we entered all of our values in. So we'll push 1. So now we have this RREF function that's going to solve the matrix A. And then I'll close that parenthesis and hit enter. And there we go. Now, remember where all of the entries in this matrix came from. The first column represents the coefficients on A. The second column represents the coefficients on B. And the third column represents the coefficients on C for each of these equations. The fourth column would be what's on the other side of the equals sign. What the calculator did was perform operations with this system of equations that eliminated variables. And so what we're left with is the first row says that when the coefficient on A is 1, the coefficient on B is 0, and the coefficient on C is 0, then what we have is 0.859375 on the right-hand side of the equation. So in other words, A is equal to 0.859375. When the coefficient on A is 0, the coefficient on C is 0, and the coefficient on B is 1, then what we have on the right-hand side of the equation is 3.125. So B is 3.125. When the coefficient on C is 1 and all others are 0, the right-hand side of the equation will be 0.140625. So C is equal to 0.140625.